It's gonna be a long time before James Gunn will start working on the Suicide Squad 2. I mean, they haven't even gotten to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 yet.
Are you kidding me?
But luckily, we won't have to wait so long for more from James Gunn. He's carving out his own corner of the DCEU on HBO Max with his very own Peacemaker series starring John Cena himself. The man you can't see was a scene stealer in the Suicide Squad, but this time it looks like there will be plenty of new characters to steal scenes from him. Starting it off, the DC character who gets the most screen time aside from Peacemaker is definitely this new take on Vigilante. He's your standard 80s antihero comic book character. The Adrian Chase version of Vigilante was a New York City district attorney who became a violent crime fighter after his family was gunned down by criminals. So basically, he's the Punisher, but with a better day job.
Yeah! Turn up the heat!
While the comic character was very, very serious, the one from Peacemaker looks like the Deadpool version of Vigilante. It seems like he's going to be more of a parody of this kind of anti-hero, rather than a brooding man obsessed with the nature of justice. In the Suicide Squad, Peacemaker was only one part of a big team. This time, he's got a team of his own serving as backup. Those include the returning John Economos from the Suicide Squad, who will be on the team as the guy in the chair that all superhero shows need.
Oh my god!
He'll be joined by new characters Emilia Harcourt, one of the many Argus agents in the DC universe, and Leota Adebayo, who will be Peacemaker's protege as well as his moral opposition. According to Gunn, Adebayo is a co-lead who will try to change Peacemaker's more hardcore philosophies. No superhero show is complete without someone to punch. The first one to fight Team Peacemaker looks to be Judo Master. Originally, he was a Charlton Comics character who DC later snagged the rights to. After saving the life of his daughter, a Judo Master taught young World War II Sergeant Rip Jagger how to fight, transforming him into a superhero. This take on the character seems to know how poorly this type of character has aged, so he looks like a parody take on how ridiculous costumed characters like this would be in the real world.
Why are you in your costume?
Costume. This is a uniform.
I imagine he'll come off about as well as the Crimson Bolt did in James Gunn's Super. As far as superpowered villains go, it looks like there's one who will be throwing around John Cena like he's a pillow. This warrior woman with 80s hair looks like a character straight out of Glow, the gorgeous ladies of wrestling. There are a ton of DC characters this could be, ranging from the martial artist known as Lady Shiva or the alien queen Maxima, who was obsessed with making Superman her husband. I'm kinda hoping it's Maxima, to be honest. I mean, he put Mongol in the Suicide Squad, so hey, anything's possible.
I love that.
The fact that James Gunn is using other Charlton Comics characters in Peacemaker could be a hint at other characters in the series. In the Suicide Squad, the low-stakes mission gave way to the high-stakes threat of Starro the Conqueror. In a similar fashion, the mission Peacemaker and his team could be on is to prevent the creation of the nuclear-powered superhero Captain Atom. The closest we've seen to these characters meeting in the flesh was in Watchmen, when the comedian, based on Peacemaker, met Dr. Manhattan, based on Captain Atom. Alright, the second you meet Peacemaker's dad in the trailer, you kinda get why he's so screwed up. I mean, how can you think your son is weak when he's the size of John Cena? Well, perhaps he had a vibrant superhero career of his own. See, Robert Patrick could have been the over-the-top superhero known as Uncle Sam, who makes a patriotic hero like Captain America seem subtle by comparison. By those standards, it makes sense why Peacemaker may seem a little lackluster to dear old dad.
Oh yeah?
The mission in question seems to be the assassination of a senator. We've seen Peacemaker fight, so you'd think this would be a piece of cake for someone like him. Well, the perfect hero to foil Peacemaker's mission would be Christopher Chance, the human target. He's the guy who will stand in for someone like the senator and impersonate them to protect them from potential attackers. If anyone could get the upper hand on Peacemaker, it would be him. The Question is a detective superhero by the name of Vic Sage, who's almost always neck deep in a conspiracy of some kind. It'd be kinda awesome to see him show Peacemaker the conspiracy behind the plan to assassinate the senator. And as insinuated a moment ago, he's the character Rorschach from Watchmen is based on, so you know he'd be fun in a James Gunn project. One of the best parts of the Suicide Squad was watching Peacemaker and Bloodsport compete over which one of them was a better marksman and fighter. If they wanted to repeat that trope, including its dramatic final showdown, there'd be few characters better than Tommy Monahan, aka Hitman. And no, I'm not talking about everyone's favorite bald, bar-coded video game character. Monahan was a superpowered gun for hire who would frequent Gotham City. If Peacemaker decides not to go through with this mission, Monahan could be getting a call. Okay, I think we can all agree that the best character in this show is definitely going to be Peacemaker's bald eagle sidekick. Right? I mean, come on, he's an eagle who fights crime and gives out hugs. How can you top that? Sure, this is a James Gunn show, so he'll probably meet a gruesome end at the funniest possible moment, but I'm sure the ride up to that will be very entertaining. I mean, look, Peacemaker's gotta have some kind of injustice to avenge, right? What could be worse than losing your beloved eagle buddy? And there you have it. My other big question before we wrap this up is whether the surprise survivor of the Suicide Squad, TDK, will make an appearance. It's very possible, after all. James Gunn does love Nathan Fillion cameos.